Hello and welcome to our podcast, Connecting and Supporting Others. I am Mira Reiss and I am delighted to have you here with us. Enjoy! I am really pleased to welcome our guest today. She's coach and she's one of the members of our Academy of Holistic Freedom. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Mira. Thank you for inviting me along this morning. It's a great pleasure to be able to have this conversation with you, have this chat. Just to let people know a little bit about who I am and what I do, I'm an empowerment coach, and I also am a qualified and licensed therapist and a mindfulness teacher using the mindfulness-based stress reduction theory from Jon Kabat-Zinn. So I kind of put all of these different modalities together to help my clients that come along to want different lives. They want something better. They want something that's kind of calling them from afar and not quite sure how to access it. So that's kind of what I do. And I'm grateful to have this conversation today.
Thank you very, very much. It's great. I do love your approach because, I allow people when they make their own way to see, you kind of took different approaches and make your own. So I love it. Thank you very much. So we can start with our questions. First question is, what is your mission? What is your true calling?
Well, my true calling really is to facilitate or help clients, people, men, women, to reconnect with their true selves. So by that, I mean the authentic, the powerful self, the one that actually came to this planet. I want them to understand how they're able to create something new lives, new businesses, increasing abundance. And that actually the bottom line is that they feel loved and that they feel worthy of everything that they want to achieve. So for me, that's letting go of shame, of guilt, of any judgment that they may have about themselves or others. And of course, those pesky limiting beliefs that we all have if we look hard enough. Basically, helping people to embrace the change, the evolution of themselves, the personal growth, the development, so that they can become self-actualized, really. And a lot of that is with tapping into their own creativity and that infinite possibility. There's all manner of things around us, and we really are able to tap into that if we know how, this field of energy and consciousness. So really, it's about restoring self-belief, self-worth, and confidence. And I think certainly in my experience and the experience that I've had with clients, those things we came to the planet with, we were all quite confident. We could cry our eyes out and bawl and make a noise and not feel at all ashamed about that. But obviously we get conditioning over the year. A lot of those self-belief properties and worthiness and the ability to love ourselves and to feel that we're lovable is eroded often for us in earlier years, and we become conditioned to that, which is a great pity, because we then start to reduce. We are not as bold as we could be. We're not as colourful and as vibrant as we could be, as we actually secretly want to be, but we just don't want to colour outside the box. So we were often denied these opportunities, to express ourselves fully and boldly and really uniquely, because that's what we are. And for me, those are the gifts, those unique gifts that we sometimes hide. Those are to be celebrated. That is like, those are your gifts that you brought with you. Those are your gifts to express in this lifetime, which will give you the joy that you're looking for and will allow you to expand in all ways. Because I feel that we all have these unique gifts. We all have these wonderful, unique set of skills that nobody else has. It's like our fingerprint, it's our blueprint. And it's such a pity when people don't use them.
Great. I do love your mission, to be honest. We are very close together. We were talking about this before. And actually, I do agree with you because I think I told you when I came to England, everybody asked me how to pronounce your name, Mira or Myra. And I said, Mira, like miracle. And everybody was laughing. And I said, really, I am Mira, but we all are miracles. We have unique gifts, we have unique skills, but we stop to believe in ourselves. And this is kind of, I think, the best timing now to start to, to use all these gifts and to help other, to realize what we really are. We are really creators of our life, how you said before. We are not victims. And I think this is a very, very nice mission which you have. And I do cross my fingers for you to find a lot of people you can help them. And I do believe we can do any support maybe in the future together, how we were talking before.
Absolutely.
Great. And here is my second question. Now, image that you have great superpower. And we all have, but we don't know sometimes how to use them. But now you can be a rainmaker. And imagine a lovely sunshine day, and you put lovely rain, and huge rainbow is in the sky. And everybody who is ready can look at this rainbow and receive your message. It's energy, which you put there and is manifesting. And who is ready just can have it, receive it. What message you would put in this rainbow?
I would put that you are infinitely powerful, a creator of your own existence and life circumstances, and that you need to remember who you really are, not who you think you are.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that is actually, we call it different: Buddha, real nature, higher self. Yeah, and this is actually, maybe some people call it love. It's everything lovely vibration, which we all have. We forgotten all of this, and so it's time to reconnect with this. And yeah, if you have if you have second power, superpower, you can go back in the time and you can meet yourself, your younger version. What kind of advice you would give to yourself?
Ooh, right. Okay. Well, I think I would say, first of all, that you are worthy and that you are lovable. And essentially that you're good enough, I think these things can become distorted and eroded. And I think as we take on responsibilities of others, this can even happen in our younger lives, which indeed it did with me and with many people. So for me, I took the responsibility of the well-being of others from a very, very, very young age and carried that responsibility for many years. And I think one of the important messages is not to take on responsibility for others when they can take that on themselves. And I think we can sum this up in one sentence, which I heard recently and I thought was fabulous, which is, you must put your needs before other people's wants. And I thought that summed everything up really well. And I think in life, had I been able to go back and speak to my younger self, it would be, remember how precious you are, remember how lovable you are, how perfect you are, how creative you are. And you have these powers within you. You have this intelligence within you. And you are kind, you're compassionate, you're empathetic, and all of those things are gifts, not weaknesses. I think that's probably what I would say. Don't dim your light, don't hide your talents, those kind of things. Don't make yourself small. Celebrate who you are and why you're here.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I do love this. And actually, how we said before, this is very important, especially now. I think everything is like showing that people, maybe, they're having more time to think about themselves, to go inside, to listen more hard than brain. So it's great timing. And I do believe that a lot of people now is finding this changing and this nice vibration which is everywhere. We are this vibration, actually. We are manifesting what we are. So it's super, super timing, and I'm very happy having you here. If you would like to share on the end something more, I'm happy, or you think we can finish with this and continue later?
Well, I think that, we need to remember that often things that are quite or seem quite insignificant can have a great impact on our lives. And I was explaining this to a lady the other week, a friend of mine, who I said, imagine that you were young and you go to the seaside and your granddad takes you to the ice cream van and he gets 3 ice creams and he gives one to your brother and one to your other brother and one to you. And you suddenly think, hang on, I've got mine last. And as a 3-year-old, you may well put 2 and 2 together and make something other than 4 and say, maybe I'm not as important as my brothers. Mm-hmm. And we make this conclusion. And then maybe a week or 2 later, your mum's putting out a meal and she puts the plates down in front of your brothers, puts yours last. But it was coincidental, but you now have a pattern because you've seen this occur twice. So as you see this occur twice, you then start to make a belief. And that belief is, I am not as important as my brothers. And in some cases, that might be, I am not as important as males, And our brains are infinitely powerful. They're really, really super clever. And we look for evidence to support our beliefs, irrespective of how erroneous they are. So we would then look for evidence to support, I'm not as important as, and we'll find it because we will always find evidence to support our beliefs, even if our beliefs are wrong. So we will look at all of that and we will ignore all the other evidence that shows that we're equally as important as anybody else on this planet. We'll ignore it completely. But what happens in life is we make these judgments as children when we've not got the wisdom or the understanding or the breadth of knowledge to think about these objectively. So we make these beliefs and then we carry them forever. And they become subconscious, they're embedded into our programming. So we continue our lives believing that we're not as important. And that is so sad because what I now see in my work is adults that come and they say, I just can't get my business off the ground, or I'm afraid to go live on Facebook, or I'm afraid to promote. And when we look at it, it's usually something that stemmed maybe 40 years before, and they've carried this for all these years and they are completely unaware of it. So for me, I think we need to be mindful of our limiting beliefs that were often formed when we weren't aware of we were forming them, and so that we can have the opportunity to break them. And of course, that's what I do in my work. And people can start that journey on their own and start questioning their own beliefs and say, does that fit with me right now? And another one that's quite important is that my belief, or does it belong with somebody else? For example, our parents may have had beliefs about finances, money, abundance. We may have been brought up in a poverty consciousness, and we take that poverty consciousness through life until we start to question, hang on, does this actually work for me now in 2021? It might have worked for my parents in the 70s, but it doesn't necessarily fit with me right now in this era in my life. So very, very important questions to start thinking about how we can develop our own selves and evolve. So thank you for the opportunity to discuss this really important topic that affects pretty much every single one of us.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very, very much. It was great talking to you. So how we said before, we believe that we can continue together and have a lovely time. Thank you for joining us and see you later on, Wendy. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you, Mimi.
Bye.
Bye-bye for now.